All right. I want to salute the flag. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Approval of the minutes. There was a few changes, corrections to the minutes that Paula pointed out to me, and we gave them to Linda, and she's going to correct them. Does anybody else have any changes to the minutes?
No, for the April 11th, no.
April 11th minutes? No. Okay, to make a motion that the minutes be approved, accepted?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
As amended.
Amended, as amended, yes.
amended.
As amended, correct. Okay. Let's see what's next. Robert Manzel, that was the one we had last month about the garage, but he didn't have a survey, or he didn't have, a lot of things were missing and all like that. So we scheduled him for this month, but he's not ready to, he doesn't have all his paperwork ready. So we're going to put him on for June. Now, I want to give him a call and tell him he's on for the June, I think it's June 13th. Okay. Now, if he says something to you about the survey, just tell him to find it. I guess he doesn't want it, garage. Just tell him we'll just withdraw it. Okay? Because I know he had called me and I called you about the garage and all like that. He doesn't want to do a survey or something like that. Has he come around finally?
I think he may have.
He may have. Okay, fine. Well, it's either survey or no garage. I said before.
I called him before the deadline.
Okay, great. Thank you. The next one would be Stephen Flavin. This is 51 Indian Brook Road. It's regards to a special use permit for the construction of a conforming accessory structure with an accessory apartment on a legally non-conforming lot. Mr. Wassi, you want to give us a little bit about this, what you're trying to do here?
The applicant, Stephen Flavin.
Excuse me, Glenn. Just want to grab the mic.
Okay. Stephen Flavin owns just under 10 acres on Indian Brook Road. It's the portion of Indian Brook Road that comes off of 9D. He was raised there. His parents owned that house. His parents have both passed away. He's living there. He would like to put up a garage and with an accessory apartment over it. The immediate purpose is to house an aging aunt that's going to come live there, but obviously that will, that's a limited period of time, as we all are, I suppose. Anyway, the property is fronts on the east side on Indian Brook Road. It runs well to the west. You can see it's a long, slender parcel. It contains 9.02 acres. It's supposed to have 10 acres in that zone to be a legally conforming lot, but it did pre-exist zoning. It's legally non-conforming, and that requires a special use permit from the Zoning Board of Appeals without site plan approval. So what we have is what we've shown you is the location of the garage, well back off the road, about 85 feet in from the property line. It will conform in all ways. We intend to take use of basically a maintenance road that was built on the property to get to the lower part of the property and service the property. We're going to convert that into a regular full-time driveway, and that's really our whole story.
Okay. Is there like a dirt road there now? Are you going to cut a lot of trees down, or?
Well, there'll be some trees cut down in the immediate vicinity of the property, but there is a road that goes all the way down to, I'd say, 4/5 of the way, 3/4 of the way down. There's an existing road that will be used to get to the back.
Okay. I looked at your application. I don't see any health department approval. I know Are you going to be putting a new septic and well system in there?
Yes, there will be a new septic and well. The tests are slated for that. It's a little bit of a chicken and egg situation for us because health department doesn't usually want to see us until we have some semblance that we're going to be getting that approval. So what we would hope that you would consider an approval of the site plan conditioned on a septic plan.
That's normally not the way we do it. Normally, the way we do it is we know we have a letter from the Board of Health that it's okay, a plan, if I'm not mistaken.
What you can do is send the application to Putnam County for comment, wait the 30 days, and when they don't comment, then you proceed.
Well, we have
Well,
to have
that's-
the Board of Health.
That's
okay?
a different, that's a different,
Yeah, that's a different.
that's a
yeah,
different
this is-
thing.
Yeah, they need, because they're gonna have to put a new septic system in there, I imagine.
It's gonna be a new septic
You're not gonna
system.
hook up to the old one or anything else
And,
like that.
you know, it's, I'm not that familiar with how you do it
Right.
with your procedure, but I know in planning boards, actually, you can't even go to the health department until you have an approval from the planning board on a
Right.
subdivision, or, so,
Well,
it's sort of a catch-22.
I know, the way I read it was, you kinda have to have an approval for, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I read it, the accessory apartment, zoning is that you're gonna really have to have an approval, health department approval, before we can approve it.
Yeah, but the way the code is written, it says no permit shall be granted for an accessory apartment without certification by the Putnam County Health Department. I don't have an issue of making it conditional with the understanding that the building department is not going to issue a permit.
Yeah.
So in other words, they can make their application for a special use permit. We can go through the requirements for a special use permit. If we were to grant it, it would be conditional. In other words, the building department would not issue the permit until the special use permit that they're seeking, until they have in hand the Putnam County Department of Health letter that clears any septic issues.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I know, but the way I read it just doesn't read like that, but I understand what you're saying. It's kind of it reads funny, you know what I'm trying to say? That's why I'm trying to get a legal, so your legal determination, we can do it that way.
yes, because a permit still won't be issued until they get the approval from Putnam County.
Okay. I have no problem with that, if anybody else on the board has any problem with that. Anybody have any concerns with that? No. Do?
Our lawyer said it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah, we're gonna throw it, if anything goes bad, we're throwing it on him, so I mean, the only thing I'm looking at, when I'm looking at this, at the plans themselves,
Yes.
you stayed under the 800 feet, I see that, was 792 or something like
Yes,
that.
it's right on the,
Yeah,
right on the line.
I saw that one, so that was quite interesting. Down the bottom floor is gonna be a garage and storage, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. And so is most of that bottom basement gonna be underground, the back half is gonna be underground, is that what I'm looking
I
at?
believe that it's, the back half, the half towards the river will be a walkout level,
Right.
so they can have a garage door.
Right.
But it'll be into the side of the hill, so the street side, which is way back from the street, but that will be buried.
Right, okay. Now, the other thing I say is that these plans, it says for bidding and review purposes only, not for construction. Now, if you're gonna go for a permit, are you gonna give them new plans?
Well, they're not our plans incidentally, but that's the typical thing that happens is the way architects do it, they issue a series of plans. The first one is sort of I always get whether it's concept or schematic. Well, one of them is first, and it's very bare bones kind of stuff. This is what it's gonna look like. And then they start working on how the spaces work. They make the floor square footage a little bigger here, a little bit smaller there. And really, the last one they issue, and you really never see it until they go for a building permit, and it's for construction or for permit.
Right.
And at that point, all of the details, the energy code calculation, all the structural details, the certification that the thing won't fall down, that kind of stuff. The
Right.
building permit, that's all done really at the end.
Right, I know my only concern is if the plans are changed. Would that be a problem to us?
Well, normally we would, if we do issue a special permit use approval, it would incorporate the plans that have been submitted. And I know all of our decisions basically have the condition at the very end that says no further enlargement, change, reconfiguration shall be allowed without ZBA approval, so.
Yeah, and that's
Is
a
that
perfectly
fine with you?
normal and acceptable thing, and I can tell you that this little building has been being planned for about a year and a half. So I don't think it's gonna change very much, but that's a perfectly acceptable thing.
Right, okay, as long as I'm covered with that's what I'm trying to say. Does anybody have any questions on this? Anybody have any questions on this?
Yeah, On the application, for all of the,
All of the reasons in the back.
yeah, it's
Well,
not applicable.
You have to remember, this is not an appeal. This is an application for a special use permit. And those
That's the
things apply to
variances, yeah.
appeals.
Oh, okay.
You really ought to think about a different application, but, you know,
Yeah,
because
you're right.
it's.
A different application for a special use permit.
Right.
You're right.
So those,
Well, what about like exterior lights and stuff like that, though? That
no,
that?
we're not planning any, but this is,
factors to be considered. By
what
the-
is-
you know, other than normal house, you know,
Right.
house lighting.
No, you're right. There should be a special use permit application.
Should be a little bit different, because
Yeah, a
it
little
is
different.
actually difficult to fill out. And keep in mind that it isn't an application, it's not an appeal.
No, it's a special use permit.
Yeah, there, as I understand it, that, you know, there are two, first you would need to classify what type of project this is, and I understand this would be a minor
That's correct, yeah.
project under the code. And the way it's written is the criteria for a minor project would be just to satisfy ourselves that it's not a major
Right.
project. That's the way the code is written. So basically, the criteria that the code speaks of, and we'll go through it at the public hearing, was, you know, will there be excessive off-premises noise, dust, odors,
Right, well,
solid
yeah, okay,
waste? Will there be traffic congestion or impairments to pedestrian safety? Will the structure be accessible to fire, police, and emergency vehicles? Will there be an overload of public water, drainage, and sewer systems? So it basically just goes through the checklist, and if you satisfy those criteria and it's a minor project, then they would be entitled to a special
Use
permit
permit.
use. If they don't,
That
in
would
other
have to go
words,
to
if
planning
one
board?
of the answers to the criteria is, hey, there will be an impairment or something, then it would kick into the criteria for a major project. But I don't think, from what I can see, that that's going to be a concern here. It's just a garage with, I think it's a
Yeah.
one bedroom,
I've forgotten.
Yeah,
It's
one
or
bed-
two-
what's-
bedroom.
what-
one bedroom, so.
The other thing is that they do give you samples in there of what they, sort of the criteria for a minor versus major, and the major, the things that you build that are kind of presumed to be major are pretty big. I think it's a 4-unit house is a major, and I think below that is assumed to be minor unless for some other compelling reason it's not.
So we don't have to answer those questions on the form?
Right, it's not an area variance. It's
No,
not-
I
it's-
don't mean
right.
that. I mean, we don't have, the questions that you brought up, you know. I don't think he addressed them on any of these
You mean
papers.
the dust and the.
Yeah, all that
usually-
stuff, right.
Yeah, that's a thing for discussion here. That's,
Public hearing.
yeah.
Oh, okay, so,
No,
so.
we have the public hearing.
Oh,
That would-
okay.
that-
Yeah, if you look at 17563, which is the special permit regulations, it has the checklist,
Right.
which, you know, I'm
Okay.
gonna
So we have to-
recommend to, you know, the board that
Right.
go through the checklist during the public hearing.
Oh, okay.
as a-
We don't have, we shouldn't have him fill it out ahead of time then.
I don't think it's necessary, especially
Okay.
when you take a look at the
It's worded variance,
checklist.
it's worded variance, you know, that's what throws it off, like the form here,
Well-
it's not really a variance.
No, it's not a variance.
No,
The code provides that in a situation like this with well, it's 175-12C, which is why they're here. If you're allowed one accessory apartment
right,
per lot.
right,
And that's allowed as a use by special permit granted by this board if you're on a non-conforming residential lot that has at least 40,000 square feet of lot area. So that's why they're here, because it's a non-conforming residential lot,
Right.
because I think the RC district has a minimum of 10 acres
Yeah.
lot size, and they're 9 point something. So that's why they're here. To get
Right.
an apartment on a non-conforming lot, they need a special use permit from this board.
Is that a town road?
Yes.
Indian, that's a town road, right?
that's
Yeah,
town road.
okay, Okay. And no, I'm saying there's no permit shall be granted with an accessory apartment without certification from the Department of Health. So we'll put that in there as a,
Again, that's permit. It's a conditional approval.
Right.
The permit comes as a result of your conditional approval or your approval.
well, that doesn't read that way in here, though. I understand what you're
Didn't you just
saying.
say- You said permit, didn't you?
It says no permit shall be granted with an accessory, for an accessory apartment. For an accessory apartment. So permit would be a special use permit, right? Is that what you're looking for?
I think that becomes the,
You think that you're
I
saying
think
building
it can be
permit?
conditioned.
You think that means building
I
permit?
think it might be building permit, but yeah, even if it is special
Can we
use
get that
permit.
clarified?
Can we get that clarified? Without being, does that mean under 175-12, what was it, C, number 3, says no permit shall be granted for an accessory apartment without certification by the.
Right.
How would we get that clarified? Does that mean building permit or does that mean accessory permit?
Oh, it would be a special use permit for an accessory apartment.
So it would be RN, not the building, all right, so it would be accessory permit.
Would be a permit issued by the building department approving the accessory apartment as a special use permit. In other words, we're not, no permit is going to be issued until they provide the materials that they need from the Putnam County Health Department. So in the event that we approve it, if we approve it, it would be conditional. In other words, you don't have permission to have this accessory apartment on this lot until you have certification from Putnam County Health Department that we have an adequate septic system.
And-
If they don't have an adequate septic system, and it's going to be Putnam County that will say that,
Right.
not us,
Right.
then if they don't, then they don't get
They don't
their
get the bill.
accessory apartment.
Okay.
They don't have an approval.
So I know, I guess the application is, do we vote on it as complete or not complete? I mean,
Yeah, no, unless, I view the application as being complete unless you need, take away the Putnam County stuff, because that's going to be part of the condition.
Okay.
But I view this as a complete application.
Right.
I do, unless you want to see
Right.
additional
No, did anybody have
things.
any questions on it, or?
So
No,
I
I
think
complete.
it-
My question was just on the building. How do we include the Department of Health into it? That's what I was just
Yeah,
trying to get.
that's easy. That's
Okay.
easy, but I view it as complete, and I think you can schedule it for a public
right.
hearing in June.
Okay. Make a motion that the application is complete. We'll schedule a hearing, public hearing for June 13th. Have a second?
Any second.
I already did.
Oh, we did? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank you
unanimous.
very much.
Okay, it's set for June 13th.
Thank you.
And you gave us a list of addresses in there, so you can mail them out. You don't have to do that anymore, Glenn. Okay. All right, let's see, what else we got here? Oh, we're gonna review and discuss change in the application and all like that, so I think there's a lot more to it now, because now that we're talking about, we just came up about the accessory permit and all like that, so maybe, for a special use permit, maybe we shouldn't have another application for that. And seeing we're kinda don't have a building inspector like that, we maybe put that off. But one thing we can do is, it says in there right now it's 7 days. Now, Linda, our secretary, mailed everything out on Tuesday of last week. We didn't get it, nobody got it till today. And most of us live locally, all of us live locally, so that's kind of a long time for a week to get the thing. So in the application now, it says 7 days. I make a motion that it say, we change that to 10 days. That'll give her the Thursday the week before, so it'll give us another few days for the post office to
I'll second the
get.
motion.
Okay, all in favor? All right, that's
Aye.
right. All right, so do that in the application automatically, and have it changed online, please, too.
Second?
Second, anybody's in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Okay, good. Anything else?
Yeah, I have some suggestions. I think we might want to put a letter at the beginning of the application, saying that the following items must be included in your application for a variance in order for it to be considered complete and heard by the Philipstown zoning board. And then, okay, so we have a lot of this stuff, but deed for the property, proving ownership, or I guess deed for the property or other proof of ownership, because we have accepted pages from the book, that,
County,
no, I think it's I don't know if it's the county or our own Philipstown records. Anyway, a deed or proof or satisfactory proof of ownership. Okay, survey of the property by licensed New York State surveyor for the additional structure needing the variance and all structures. And we should spell out the distance, showing the distance from the property line in feet and inches, because they don't always have that, and all dimensions in feet and inches.
The survey?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't.
I don't know if we could. The
That's
little survey would say
There
that.
were times there's no measurements. There were times there's not enough measurements.
Yeah. Yeah, and it says that.
Side back or something.
Yeah, we need the dimensions.
We need
Also-
dimensions and I
Well,
agree with
most
you.
of the, yeah, but like the fellow came here last month, didn't have that, so we told him we had to get a new survey.
He didn't have a survey, really. I mean.
Well, yeah, he did. He got a survey in 1959.
Yeah, but, okay, 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 well, okay,
Oh,
well,
I don't have a problem with it.
all right,
I'm just
and then we want the size of the additional structure that requires the variance in feet and inches, including the width, the length, the height, and the distance from the property line,
Okay.
right? And anything else? Do we want the distance from the other structures, or do?
What I was thinking was, the application itself is okay,
Yeah,
with tweaks,
yeah,
but there's no examples of how to fill it out.
right.
What I was thinking is that we could create examples of each type of application, special use permit, area variance, and put it into like a PDF file, like, this is how you do it. This is
Well,
what one
That's
looks
kind of
like.
like what I'm trying to.
Like, exactly what, that.
To tell them, that they need, the survey has to tell what
put a
the feet,
checklist
the
on it.
inches, et cetera,
Yeah,
um,
an example with a checklist.
Yeah, okay, then, names and addresses of all neighbors adjoining the property, and we also should tell them this could be obtained from the building department located in, the Philipstown Town Hall, so they know where to get it. Certificates of occupancy for existing structure, the special use permit didn't ask, we didn't have a certificate of occupancy, but I know that's on our current application. It says ask for the certificate of occupancy. Do we need that?
That's, in the old law, yes. The new law, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, so maybe we don't need that.
Right.
We should check
Well,
that
I'm
out.
not too sure. I don't know, I'd like to know that the building did have a CO.
I'm the same way. I like to know there's a CO.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
certificate
yeah,
of
I'm just saying,
occupancy.
I'd like to know the CO there.
But for the special use permit, we don't need a.
No, it's a different thing. Well,
That's
that's,
for,
when we get it.
for
when
a
we-
variance, right?
Unfortunately, now, we just lost a building inspector, but we'll be getting a new one. When we get a new
Right.
one, this is the kind of things we're gonna have to go over.
Okay.
Like he said, we should be two permits. It should be not two permits, two applications. One should
Right.
be for an accessory,
Right.
a special use permit.
And
you know.
then,
The one thing we have here with Linda is she's able to working full-time in the building department. She's helped me out greatly, calling people up, like she called this fellow up and everything else like that. So we didn't have that before.
Right.
You know, so we got one luxury
Right,
now. And
right.
she comes in, she can help the people out too and say, now she's knowing that he needs this, listen, you need this, you need
Yeah.
that. So
Right.
she's gonna be a great help to us.
Right,
you know.
and then the denial letter for the building permit, and the.
Well, that's what he was saying.
I know.
What the attorney was saying tonight,
Yeah.
there should gotta be a letter from the building inspector.
Right, and.
I don't think this one had a letter because I think he was,
Right, but that's for the
packing-
special
packing
use
his bags.
permit.
Letter is basically a, being denied,
being denied.
a denial.
Okay, well,
It's denial. What they go is they go and say, okay, I want to build this. I'll say you can't build it because you're too close to the thing.
And
So-
he
They
denies
deny it.
oh, okay, so would it,
See, the special-
denial,
A letter of denial.
Yeah, but a special use is different. You don't need a letter of denial.
well, okay, well, we could figure that
Right.
out, but we need some kind of proof that it was denied. And then
Correct.
a completed appeal form with all questions answered.
Wow. That's what we're trying to do.
Well, so
Linda's
then-
been really helping us with that, on that,
so-
and I can tell you that.
So then, I mean, so this could be a letter at the beginning of the application, you know, right in their face, if you will, that if they don't have all this stuff, their appeal isn't going to be heard.
Okay.
So then I would think, I mean, my personal experience, I had a similar kind of experience when I was working for government, where people were not bringing in all the necessary papers that they needed. And then we did something similar to this. We sent them a letter and said, okay, and we sent it to the people who wanted to hire them too, which was another incentive for people to get all their information in. And it definitely improved things. They you know, they could see, you know, if
Right.
they didn't have all this, they weren't going to get their variance. So, you know.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is when the people come in to speed up the process, you know.
Right.
So instead, because when they come in like that
Right.
young man come in now, he's already 2 months.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? So
Right.
that's, so yeah, I agree with you.
So if we had that letter on the, and if you want, I could draft something,
Sure.
and we could just toss it around. You know, we could
Okay, why
talk
don't you-
about it.
Why don't you
know?
draft it up, and the next meeting we'll go over it.
Yeah, and then you know, whatever changes people
Sure.
think, and
Okay.
you
Well,
know.
we can make this, we're gonna make this change immediately about the 10 days. Because
Yeah.
that's simple, it's just a matter
Yeah.
of going through a line.
Right. Okay. So
Well,
I'll do
good.
that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other, old business? No business? No? Okay. We've had a motion that we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Next meeting will be June 13th.
June 13th.